A medical firm whose product is used in about 100,000 surgeries a year now stands accused of paying doctors who wrote favorable articles in medical journals. We have the alarming results of a congressional investigation. A major manufacturer of medical equipment used in spine surgery is being accused of actually writing favorable articles in medical journals about one of its back surgery products, a gel used in about 100,000 surgeries a year. A Senate Finance Committee report released today also says the company paid huge amounts of money to some of the doctors who supposedly co-wrote the articles. Drew Griffin of CNN's Special Investigations Unit tried to track down one doctor who pocketed millions. Drew's joining us right now. So what happened, Drew?
Wolf, his name is Thomas Zadeblik, and according to his staff at the University of Wisconsin, he was supposed to show up at the National Conference Spine Society in Dallas yesterday. He didn't show and has yet to return any of our calls. Zadeblik, who heads the university's orthopedics department, was paid $34 million alone from 1996 through 2010. He's one of the dozen doctors paid by the company Medtronic. According to the University of Wisconsin, the doctor made the money based on patents and royalties from a piece of surgical equipment he developed with Medtronic, not from those articles. The Senate, though, specifically says Zadeblik co-authored articles that the Senate believes deliberately misled the public about the dangers of a treatment called InFuse. And in fact, Wolf, the Senate says the articles were written by Medtronic's marketing department, not by doctors. Both the doctor and Medtronic's issued statements denying the allegations, but the editor of the Spine Journal, which first reported much of this back in June of last year, says the investigation is a black eye on all spine surgeons and medical journals for that matter, and it shouldn't be tolerated.
The question of critical review and the question of how the journals were able to review it, the Senate specifically said that they thought that at least one of the journals, the journal that I'm the editor of, may have been specifically misled in the review process.
What would you say to the doctors, many of whom who are here right now, who were paid millions and millions, and in some cases tens of millions of dollars, to put their stamp on what we now know are inadequate, incomplete, or misleading articles?
Well, I think it's sad. I don't think we lived up to the expectations as a profession, both at the editorial end, where you're reviewing the articles to publication, and in the being an author end. I think it would be hard to say that it is ethical in today's environment to have that sort of input from a sponsor.
Wolf, among the information that was downplayed or missing was evidence that this treatment InFuse could cause cancer, sterility, in some cases lethal swelling of the throat in off-label usage. Medtronic issued a statement saying it disagrees with many of the findings of the Senate report. The Senate, though, calling for complete transparency in medical journals. In other words, Wolf, if a doctor is getting paid $34 million by a medical company to review that medical company's products, that, says the Senate, should be disclosed. Wolf?
I've heard similar things, maybe not as outrageous over the years. How widespread is this problem?
You know, it's hard to tell, but we've seen many cases, especially in major drug company cases that the U.S. Department of Justice has prosecuted, where some of this information is or is not being passed on to doctors and other journals of medicine based on whether or not it's going to paint that product in a good light or a bad light. And especially when you have doctors' finances tied to the product, they're saying it just should not be done.
Shouldn't be done at all. Drew, thanks very much for that report. The Romney campaign